Hello and welcome to the LTN Pulse, a podcast where we have conversations with LTN staff, missionaries, high-level volunteers, friends that are adjacent to our organization to dig into and discover what we are reading, watching, playing, and experiencing in nerd culture. This is a special episode of the LTN Pulse, a minisode, if you will, where we are diving into talking with friends of LTN, community members, talking about what LTN means to them and maybe share some stories. The LTN Pulse is a part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network. I'm your host, Luke, the director of missions at Love Thy Nerd, and I am joined by Will or William. Can I call you William? I'm going to call you Will of Tantrum House. Will, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing so good. I'm excited to be here. I have to admit that I haven't listened to any of your episodes yet, but I'm going to start right now. I didn't realize you guys had the Pulse. So now I'm in the know and I'm going to check it out.
Now you know. Hey, we just started. We just had our season finale, not series finale. That'd be atrocious.
Ooh,
season finale. So you got something to catch up on, but no worries.
Okay,
Will,
cool.
Tell me about Tantrum House. What is Tantrum House? It sounds crazy.
Man, it's a lot of things. I don't even know what it is exactly these days because it's turned into so many things. It started off as the publishing name for a game that myself and my buddy Ryan put together. We put on Kickstarter, and that was like 8 years ago. And we thought Tantrum House was going to be a publishing company. After dealing with international safety laws and tariffs and taxes and shipping and fulfillment, we decided that we are not, in fact, publishers. But we do enjoy playing games. We enjoy talking about games. And one of the things that came out of that was that we had a team of people who were excited about just making media about games. And so we were in not the earliest days of the YouTubes, but in the early enough days where we weren't considering monetization or any of those things. We just put a channel up that we started playing games on and talking about games on. And over the almost decade that we've been doing it, we've grown that into a podcast, and we do playthrough videos and previews for Kickstarters and reviews and how to plays and learn to plays. And we have been doing so many videos and built so many connections in the board gaming industry that it's actually grown into a convention. We have a Tantrum Con event coming up in January. I think you're going to be there, which I'm excited about.
I am.
And it's kind of all the things. So we have a website. We primarily help Kickstarter creators bring their games to the platforms and help them give them a place to talk about their games and show off their stuff. And it was something that we enjoy doing a little bit of on our own, and we enjoy helping other people do. And just being able to find a place to connect with people. We think that board games are a fantastic platform to be able to enjoy fellowship together and get to know each other without all of the barriers that come with the world and talking to people normally. So
yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's awesome. I think that's actually the first time I've heard the origin of Tantrum House. I didn't know. Oh. I know you dabble in game design and all of that, and so that's cool that Tantrum House was born out of that. I didn't know till today. I was today years old.
Cool. You'll have to play Steam Court with me at Tantrum Con, the game that we published. It's a 1 to 12 player trick-taking party game.
I'm in. I'm not surprised coming from you that that's what it is.
Right. 12-player party game.
A party game. Yeah,
taking.
Absolutely. I love that. Will, other than board gaming stuff, what are you nerding out about recently?
All right. So I just finished the last episode so far. There's still more to come of Cobra Kai. So I'm in season 6.2 or whatever we're calling it at this point. They've drug out season 6 into like 3 different sections, and I literally just watched the last episode last night. Dang. I was having a great time.
I do appreciate how Netflix like drops everything so I can binge it, and I think this is their way of saying like, hey, we need to spread it out some. We won't release.
We need you to pay for that subscription for 2 more months.
Exactly. So
yeah, it was good. I've been enjoying the series for forever. And I have a martial arts background. I actually think their choreography is not great, but I've enjoyed the show nonetheless and had lots of fun watching all the unnecessary drama that they've written into it.
Oh, yeah. That's all of the Netflix shows. I'm watching like a car show, like where they, take old cars, make them new and customize them on all sorts of stuff. And like, it's so obvious, even though that it's like what's the term? I can't remember, but it's not really scripted, but it is scripted, and they write some like drama into it, and you're like, that's kind of fake, but I like it.
These people are still enemies with their best friends after 6 seasons. Get it figured out, you guys.
Right. And Asia and I, we're not caught up yet. Like we haven't watched any of the new season. It's been a busy time, but we've watched everything up until actually, I think we've watched the first like 3 or 4 episodes of this season
of season 6. Yeah. Because that was like in the fall or whatever. So
yeah. So we're not fully caught up, but like we've thoroughly
made it
been
to the
enjoying
Saikai
the show.
Taikai or whatever, the tournament.
Yeah, or like they were like.
So actually, one of the reasons I was geeking out over it is because this part of the series is set in Barcelona, which I just got to visit literally 2 months ago because my wife and I and some other friends from Tantrum House went to Barcelona for a week before we went to Essen. And I'm watching all the karate stuff and I'm like, I was there. Oh, I saw that building. Oh, I ate that paella. Oh, that was delicious, and it was cool to watch. That was the extra geekiness because I had just been there.
That's cool. Yeah, that's always fun. Especially with your tie, you're saying to the martial arts and all of that. Yeah. It's always, if I'm watching, like I have an audio background. So if I'm watching something and they're like on a mixing console and it's like, they're not doing anything. Like it's so obvious to like,
why aren't they pushing the buttons?
So to me, I'm like, man, this karate is so cool. They're so good at this.
And I'm like, this would never happen in real life. What is that move? Quit faking it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yep, that's very cool. Fun. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, hopefully it ends well. They got a couple more episodes coming out, but then.
Well, and I guess they got a movie too. That's the crazy thing. They're bringing.
Oh, I didn't even hear about that. That's news to me.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio is teaming up with Jackie Chan for a new Karate Kid movie. So
what?
It'll probably be terrible, but I'm still going to watch it. It's
okay. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
How I want to kind of pivot. How did you find out about LTN? How did we meet? I'll let you just kind of take it from there.
Okay, so this is my earliest memory of Love Thy Nerd. I don't know. Here we go. I think it was Gen Con, and I have some good relationship working stuff with Genius Games. I've run their booth at Gen Con for the last several years, and I remember seeing these guys who had like pink and blue lanyards on, and they were, I don't know who they were working for. They were just kind of scattered. They were kind of everywhere. Yeah. And I noticed that they were specifically working for one company, but I saw a group of 3 or 4 guys, and they were like coming in. They had just carried all the stuff for the company they were actually working for, dropped it off. They went back to go get another load of stuff, but they stopped along the way because this young lady was pulling a, forklift or whatever. What are those things called? Skid thing. Yeah. You know what I'm talking
about. Pallet jack.
Pallet jack, the correct term. And I don't know if it had fallen over or if she was just trying to unload it, but these massive boxes, she was unloading them by herself. And all 4 of these guys were like, hey, can we help you with that for just a second? And she was like, no, I got it. And they were like, are you just putting it right here? And they literally just jumped in, started hauling these boxes over. They were already coated in sweat anyway. They obviously didn't work with her, but they moved all the boxes. Then they went back out and they got all their stuff. And they did it a second time. She brought in a second load of stuff. And I was just impressed by these guys. Obviously are like going out of their way, the sweat equity that they're putting in right now to help this lady who they have no connection with whatsoever, because they're actually supposed to be working with that guy. And they like just went out of their way to serve. And that struck me. And I literally from that point on was kind of watching these guys. Who are they? What's going on? These seem like nice guys. They got crazy looking beards. My beard is getting ready to get shaved, by the way. No shave November. Thankfully. Ooh. I can't handle this. How do you do it? Yours is so...
I trimmed it up, and you got to oil and wash it and take care of it.
I got to shave it. It's going away.
You look great.
Yeah, thank you. We'll get it. Hopefully it looks even greater once it's gone. That was my first introduction, really. And I didn't know what LTN stood for. I just recognized the lanyards. I started seeing them popping up in other places. And that very first initial just visual kind of struck me as these guys, something different's going on. I kind of like what's happening over here. And honestly, I don't even remember when you and I met. Was it at Gen Con? Was that Origins? It was before Tantrum Con. But I had met several people from your team and I had just seen the t-shirts, seen the logo. And so that was really the first interaction that I had. Where did we first meet? Do you remember?
It was a Gen Con a couple years ago because a mutual friend of ours was like, hey, you need to stop by. I think they're at Genius Games. Stop by. Introduce yourself.
I do remember this now. So is that a relative? What's the connection?
Just a really close family friend from like back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jenny and her family, we've been friends for a long time. She goes to my church. They've gone camping with us a bunch of times. And yeah, she did mention to me, hey, there's a guy that you need to meet. He's in the board game industry. He's going to try to swing by your booth. And I was like, okay, I don't know who this random guy is. I don't think I knew that you were with Love Thy Nerd. I think you were just a friend of hers. And then when you had the lanyard on as well, I was like, oh, okay, you're part of the crew. Let's hang out and get to know each other. Yeah.
And I remember like we met. And then you immediately invited me to Tantrum Con, as you should. You're like, hey,
I was in full mode at Gen Con.
Oh, absolutely. When you're at a show like these, like we have to be on all the time. It's always wheeling and dealing. But I'm really thankful.
I think it was also, you're not super far away either. So it was like, you can make this trip. This is realistic.
Too far. I was bummed that was the first year you moved it from Greenville. Because it's like I've got a place to stay in Greenville. It's a little bit closer.
Handy.
Yeah. But no, Charlotte is fantastic. I'm super glad you invited me to Tantrum Con because I think Bubba and I came down that first year to just check it out and we like absolutely loved it. And we've been attending ever since.
Yeah.
With the team.
I'd love to hear. You guys have been a great help, a great asset to us there. So it's been fantastic.
Speaking of which, is there like a specific story or something that so like we do our typical thing? This is a mission trip to us. We bring a team. We try to volunteer where you guys need, whether that's just checking badges at the door or running hot games or the game library, helping set up, tear down. We do it all. And so we absolutely love showing up, helping out friends, kind of run your show, staying in the background, but like pushing you guys forward there. Is there something specific outside of that that's like really stuck out to you or a specific story?
Yeah, well, I would say that first off, you guys do an excellent job at that because you guys do have a face, you guys have a personality, and not that you would come in and take over the show or whatever, but one of the things that we've enjoyed about having you guys at the show so much is that your willingness to like take the back seat, and same with that servant-heartedness of moving those boxes. Like you guys, we have plenty of really, really great volunteers. Actually, I can't tear down any of them. We have a lot of really diehard fans of our channel and of board gaming in general and people that we've been playing games with for a long time. And so we're pretty blessed to have like a lot of our show is run by volunteers and we can trust them and they do a really, really fantastic job on all fronts. But having you guys come in, honestly, you were kind of, even when you showed up, like we had met once at Gen Con, you were still kind of strangers. But your willingness to jump in and immediately become a part of the team and help wherever we needed help with was really fantastic. And I would actually say one of the stories, it's not really a story because I didn't experience it, but we get email surveys after the convention from everybody. And the year that you guys brought your crew, I think last year, because you had several more people with you, we just got tons of positive feedback on how Love Thy Nerd guys had gone out of their way to help in situations, had picked up boxes, had done the work that needed doing. And we're trying to achieve something, I don't want to say special because that just sounds kind of cheesy, but our view or our vision for what Tantrum Con should be is kind of different from all the other board game conventions that we go to. Like we're not really there trying to sell board games. We're not really there even trying to play board games. We're really there trying to create this experience where everybody can come together and have fun together and have a genuinely enjoyable time. And there's no barriers and there's no hurdles to jump over. You don't have to nickel and dime, pay for a bunch of extra stuff. Like we want you to be able to just come, bring your family, feel comfortable with that, and really, really have a great 4-day experience. And that's the second year that we had it. We had people who came back and said, hey, we had so much fun last year that we brought our family with us and we're kind of turning this into a family reunion type experience. And that, like those kind of, those are the tingly feelings that you get after the event when people are like, hey, this is the best 4 days that I've had in a year because I got to see my best friend and I got to play this new game that we've been talking about and we finally had time to actually sit down at the table. Thank you guys for curating and creating that experience for us. And to have you guys come in and help buttress that and support that and do all the background stuff without any, like you guys, we should talk about that right now. We'd love to have you guys do a show or something. If you wanted to do a podcast or some kind of experience while you're there, that'd be fantastic. But you guys have never asked for that. I don't think you ever would have. You come in willing to do whatever needs done, and that's super encouraging to us because we can hand it off. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to be nervous or fret about something's going to get messed up. You guys have proven that you are a trustworthy group that really is willing to help and serve, and that has meant a lot to us because it really comes in and reinforces what we're trying to achieve at this event.
Yeah. I mean, we're just extremely
help that show.
Yeah. Well, we're extremely happy to come in and like, yeah, support you guys and like push you guys forward. We're not in it for ourselves or anything, but yeah, year after year, you're constantly asking like, hey, what more do you guys want? What more do you guys want? And I think have it on some good authority. We've been talking with Monica and some of the team of there might be like a LTN raffle, hot games raffle going on.
Oh,
so
cool. Yeah.
We're going to have our corner in the hot games, kind of running those and sponsoring that. And so there's some more teamwork going back and forth. So yeah, you guys are definitely showing us the love, and we love this partnership. So thanks for
we've super appreciated it. I think that balance, like you guys do a great job on the balance of being authentic nerds and like really geeking out over stuff and knowing your subject matter well, but also like, hey, we're here to just actually help and serve and be of value. We're not trying to just like, I don't know, it's a focus thing, and you guys have done really well on it. So commend your group. We appreciate you guys.
We love it. Thank you so much for those kind words. And in true fashion, I've gone overtime. So the listeners know that I do that every single time. It's always my fault. But thank you so much for being on, Will. Again, listeners, Tantrum Con is coming up end of January. What are the specific dates?
23rd through 26th.
In Charlotte. So go to tantrumhouse.com. Fresh look on the website. It looks fantastic. Go check it out.
Thank you.
And sign up for Tantrum Con. We'll myself and a few others will be there. My co-host Michael will most likely be there as well. So maybe we will do a little special recording.
Ooh, all right.
It'll be around the time of our season premiere for season 2. So
perfect.
Maybe something special. We'll talk. But again, Will, I can't thank you enough for being here.
Thank you, man. It was a pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity for sure.
Yeah. And if you are listening, thank you for tuning in, for watching, listening on wherever you catch podcasts. This has been our special, I'm going to make up Minisode. I like Minisode in true Tantrum House fashion, where they make up words all the time.
Invent a word.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for tuning in. Catch us on all the places that you watch or listen to podcasts. Follow us on the YouTubes, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.